What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. So we have a bit of an update around Nintendo and that MiG switch situation where things seem to be getting a bit out of control as Nintendo is actively going after people, which we had discussed previously, but now we're starting to see some of those results with some people being banned and even the main site for the device being shut down. We're going to go over all of that though here today. Also, we are going to be talking about Xbox Live, which was down a good part of yesterday going into the evening, which led people to realize that how much access they really have to their games, and PlayStation Stars, which is Sony's rewards program, appears to be rolling back out, but there's still a pretty major question around the whole thing. So if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button, helps out a ton. And if new here to the Spawn Wave channel, make sure you subscribe down below. And of course, members of the channel do get Newswave early. If you'd like to learn more about that, click the join button down below this video. And we're going to start today with an ease game that people have been waiting to hear more about, specifically it making the move to the west, which we can see this posted up. This is over on Gamatsu. They say, ease the oath in Felghana. It is coming to the west in early 2025. There is a physical refined edition that's available for PS5 and Switch. You can see it here, and it looks pretty nice. The box set there. You of course have the case, and they also have a 4 postcard set, microfiber cloth, compilation soundtrack even. There is a digital version that we're still waiting for more details on, they say, at a later date. But we did have this game come out in Japan on the Switch April 27th, and then it followed up May 23rd on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. There's a lot happening in just the Ease universe with games being like remade and then localized stuff, so it is kind of all over the place. For me, there are some Ease games that I've really enjoyed, but I'm not as deep into the lore or really following every single release to even be able to place this one necessarily, but I'm sure for Ease fans, especially in the West, are really excited to hear about this one getting localized with a really nice looking physical edition. Also, we had an interesting find over on the Reddit Nintendo Switch page, and you can actually see this image of very odd looking cartridge. It says just on the front Quest settings license cart. A person actually posted this up, said that it just was in a used Nintendo Switch OLED model that they had purchased, and they weren't really sure what this thing was. They had images of it being used in the Switch, and it almost shows like a diagnostic menu, sort of. Well, a person did answer in the comments saying that this is a cartridge that would be used with some of those kiosks that you see in store displays that weren't connected to the internet. So in this case, you'd be able to update it, whether it's maybe the controllers that get an update, the system itself, even different games. So as they mentioned, not exactly a dev tool, but certainly a rare piece for the collection if you just happen to end up with one of these things. I don't know if they'll become super valuable down the road, but I'm sure it would work to complete a set, maybe for someone who has a full kiosk demo unit. Yeah, getting that cartridge would at least have it as close to 1-to-1 as possible. Not really any other functions outside of just that, though, it seems. Oh, and if you're excited for Sonic Cross Shadows Generations, it looks like Sega does have an additional skin that you can get pretty easily for the game. In fact, you can see it here. Yeah, if you subscribe to their emails by November 1st, 2024, you get a Sonic Jam Legacy skin. It's inspired by Sonic's first 3D appearance. The way this works is when you put your email and stuff in, you'll get a code sent to your inbox that'll allow you to download that in-game content after the game is released on October 25th. It's just a fun thing to have there, as they mentioned its first 3D appearance, and yeah, it looks nice and blocky, nice and chunky as you'd expect from the Sega Saturn, but just wanted to bring that up for any Sonic fans out there who are looking to pick up this Generations title later this year, that there is a skin out there. You just have to give up your email address, or an email address, we'll say. Technically be a throwaway one just to get the code in the skin. And guys, with some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into the bigger stuff. Let's start right away with Nintendo and the MiG switch. We had talked previously about Nintendo bringing a lawsuit against 2 different individuals, one just being Modded Hardware, which is a website that sold the MiG switch, the other one being a user, or an account, I should say, on Reddit with the Switch Piracy group, and since then, more and more updates have been coming through. One actually does have to do with the MiG switch and Nintendo's potential for being able to detect and then ban your system from using it, and this is something that was still kind of up in the air as the MiG switch was starting to be shipped out and people were using it. Is this something Nintendo can see. Do they know if you are using it or not? And while the group behind the Mig Switch seemed pretty confident that it's not possible, just based on the way that they were going about tricking the system into seeing it as a game with a unique certificate, we are starting to see some people share that yes, they are being banned for using the Mig Switch. However, there is a certain caveat to that, and that being they seem to be using just pirated ROMs, basically, that are compatible with the Mig Switch. Now, as I did a video on this and showed off how exactly you're supposed to use it, that being with your own backups, and the reason for that is because you get a unique identifier for every game that won't be shared online. However, there seems to be a pack of these Mig Switch compatible ROMs that are making the rounds right now that people are just sharing, and because of that, yes, you have a lot of duplicate certificates out there that are running on the Switch, and yeah, that's one of the reasons many people on the Mig Switch Reddit are mentioning that they have been banned, because they're firing up ROMs from that pack. And to me, even if you're following the instructions completely and backing up and using just your specific games, there's still no guarantee that Nintendo cannot detect this thing and just ban you outright, especially as more and more firmwares are pushed and Nintendo learns more and more about this device, because something tells me Nintendo probably ordered one of these things themselves to check it out and see exactly what's going on, and if there's any little thing that they can use to identify a Switch using it. But as I mentioned, things have continued to evolve here, with the Mig Switch website itself being seized. Now, they have since created a new website, and they also shared this on that new website when it went live. They can see at the top saying, although the situation is still not clear, it seems our company has lost the ownership of our domain name migswitch.com. They say they are operating as usual, they're still shipping products, all orders are being fulfilled, nothing has changed beside the domain name. They mention that they're shocked by this, and of course not happy by what's transpired here. However, it shouldn't be shocking considering the way that, yes, Nintendo tends to move with these things, which is extremely aggressive. If they find any little out they can in order to get someone, say, in a lawsuit, they will pursue it. The fact that we're seeing them go after a retailer for the Mig Switch, specifically because they were loading up systems and apparently SD cards for the Mig Switch with ROMs, yeah, that's not going to go over very well for Nintendo, and obviously they will look to take that down. Same with anything on Reddit that is just outright showing off how you can pirate games. Yeah, they're not gonna be very happy with that one either, especially if you are, say, distributing links that then point you in the direction of Switch ROMs. And then on top of all of this, the Make Switch subreddit is now set to private, where you have to be approved in order to see anything on it. And to my understanding, many different accounts on there are posting up that they are being banned because they are just using those ROM packs. So I wouldn't recommend that one, because to me, once you start using those ROM packs, you're basically just downloading ROMs anyway that aren't yours, that you've backed up with your own legal copies of the game. You may as well just modify a Switch and download ROMs that way. I don't even know why you're bringing the Make Switch into the equation. It's just, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, if you use any of those, you're going to get banned immediately if you connect to the internet. And at this point, who knows what's going to happen with Make Switch, or even some of the competitors or clone cartridges that are starting to appear, because Nintendo seems to be moving on these things very, very rapidly. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Next up, let's talk about PlayStation Stars, as we have a good update for this reward service from Sony. And it's interesting because technically now it's been down longer than that PlayStation outage way back in the day during the PS3, where it was just down for like a month or something. And they gave some titles away and stuff to sort of make up for it. In this case though, PlayStation Stars has just mysteriously been down for like a month. But they did update their website, we can see this, where they say PlayStation Stars will be returning soon in phased regional rollouts. Thank you for your patience, and we look forward to welcoming you back. Since then, we have seen some people in different regions say that yes, it is now up. I did check on my app for PlayStation. I have a little Stars guy there that I was going into here and there as it would pop up, and I say, let me see what's going on there with some of the rewards, because when you would, say, buy a game on the PlayStation Store, it would kick out some points and give you a notification. But since it's been down, whenever I go to it, it just says it's not up currently, it's under maintenance. And at this time, it was still giving me that message when I went to PlayStation Stars. My big question about this, as they are rolling it back out, is why was it down for a month? Like, does anyone wondering why that is? Because it seems like people are they're happy to see it come back, obviously, but it seems like an odd thing that it would just be gone for a month, and it almost felt like Sony was it'll come back when it comes back sort of thing. I do believe personally that it was maybe linked to them ending rewards for their PlayStation credit card that they had, and maybe they were coming up with something new, and that could also just relate to PlayStation Stars maybe getting some new feature or functionality. But at this time, it just seems like it was gone for a while, and now it's coming back, which does also make you wonder how much importance Sony even places on the entire rewards program as it is. So, hey, we'll see when it comes back. Maybe they have some fun surprise for everyone, some new campaign that they'll add in that gets some cool rewards, or that just comes back and it's just business as usual, like nothing happened. Next up, let's talk about Xbox Game Pass games for the month of July. We have some new ones to check out here, which we can see this posted up over on news.xbox.com. We can start at the top here. Journey to the Savage Planet Cloud Console and PC, that is going live starting today, along with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Cloud console and PC. I did not try that one out at all, but hey, there you go. It's going into Game Pass. Maybe that's the one I'll check out here. Cricket 2024, cloud console and PC, that being June 9th, along with The Case of the Golden Idol, cloud console and PC. Some of these games like The Case of the Golden Idol I've never heard of, and I guess technically going into Game Pass gives it some exposure in that regard. So there you go. And then moving up to July 11th, we have Neon White, cloud, console, and PC. This is a critically acclaimed title here, indie game, so I'd say that one's definitely worth checking out. As well as Tchia, that's cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Moving up to July 16th, we have Magical Delicacy, cloud, console, and PC. That is a day one release, so there you go. Get the day one title going in, along with Flock, that's cloud, console, and PC, same day, July 16th. Also, a day one release in Game Pass. So, nothing really major here that stands out to me. I guess Neon White being, again, a critically acclaimed title. And then we have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, which I might fire up just to check it out because I hadn't otherwise. And I guess that's the whole beauty of Game Passes, try out games that you may have missed or just not even bothered with necessarily because of the purchase price in front of it. So to me, not a strong way to start out July, but that would be technically the first wave to round out the first half of this month. We'll see what Microsoft has, of course, in store for the second half of July. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about Xbox Live, as it was down for a good part of yesterday. In fact, as of recording, it's still down, and it's down in a very weird way because it seems that Xbox Live is still sort of working. The problem people are running into is you're not able to sign in with your account, even though you can say go on Xbox's website and browse the store and even send downloads to your console. There's this weird disconnect between your system and your account right now. Well, we can see this is currently posted up over on Twitter X. This is from the Xbox support account saying, "We're aware that some users have been disconnected from Xbox Live. We're investigating. Please follow here and on our status page for updates." This has continued on, as I mentioned, and they were just constantly, like every other hour, just doing some sort of update, with the most recent one saying, "Investigation continues into issues impacting users' ability to sign into Xbox Live and services. Thank you for your patience while our engineers work." And they have updates at xbox.com/status, and they've been getting absolutely lit up in the comments because people very quickly realize they don't actually have as much ownership around their games as they thought, and something as basic as Xbox Live going down with communication to your console can affect your entire library, especially if it's digital. Some were actually still having a problem when it came to disc-based games because if you remember, especially early on for the Xbox Series, it didn't have most of the game there. You still had to download some stuff, and it had to do some sort of certification, DRM check, when you would start the game. And in this instance, there are just many that aren't working right now. So yeah, you kind of have an Xbox that is just sitting there and unable to do much. Now, there are some ways to get around this. Some people were mentioning that setting it to your home console and then playing around with some of your online, offline settings was able to at least kick the system over to allow them to get into a game. But if you didn't already have some of that prep work done ahead of time, it just still wouldn't be working now because you're not able to set that as a home. Mine was still set as a home console and I was unable to play some of my games. And while there are games on the Xbox that I'll mostly play as just online multiplayer, so I just wasn't going to play it anyway because it's just down, it is still very troubling and I'd say very much eye-opening for some people who didn't realize how dependent they are on Xbox Live or those Xbox servers just functioning at all times for them to be able to play games that they spent $60 or $70 on. But hey, that all digital future, it's gonna be great, right? It's times like these where people start to reflect a bit and go, oh, okay, maybe it's not a good idea to have such a reliance on an online infrastructure that can just be down for hours on end like this. Mostly to me, when it comes to purchases, if it's a subscription service like Game Pass, you already kind of understand the potential drawbacks there. But when you do buy stuff outright, yeah, that's when you go, okay, hold on a minute, what's going on here? But again, the all digital future, it's coming in. People are excited until it doesn't work. And then you go, oh, wait, maybe we should have kept physical games around. And before we go to the comment of the day, we'll take a look at the poll that I posted up yesterday, where I ask, when a game you want gets a digital release first and a physical release later, what do you do? Let's see. Okay, I buy the digital release only, 32%. Wait and buy the physical release only at 60%. And then 8% say I buy both, digital first and physical when it comes out. Obviously, it's going to depend on the game and how much of a pull it has on you. I mean, if it's a game that's coming out that you've been waiting forever to either get a re-release, a remake, or, I mean, even just a game in general. Remember Alan Wake 2? That came out just digital, and then we hear about it also getting a physical release. That's the other thing. There are many times where they act like there's not going to be a physical release, like it's just digital, that's the way it's going to be here, that's the route we're going, and then you buy it, and then, oh wait, here's the physical copy. That's the annoying one, really, because at least if you're presented with the option of waiting for something like Dead Rising 2 months, well, there you go. Okay, I'll just wait 2 months, I'll get it physically. But if they had just said, hey, it's only digital, it's coming out in September, well, okay, there you go. I guess I'm just buying it digitally. And then 4 months later, oh, wow, all of a sudden there's a physical copy that's coming out. Well, even if we say it was pushed into 2025 or something, yes, that's annoying because it does cause double dipping quite frequently, I'm sure, for people who are big fans of the game and want to make sure they have a copy of it on their shelf just in case Xbox Live goes down. And we'll finish up with the comment of the day, as you're seeing here. This is from Dunk, who says, did RG sign those multiple copies of Balan Wonderworld that one follower wanted him to sign them all? Yeah, there was a lot of Balan Wonderworlds getting thrown around at too many games. I mean, really think about it, Sean has not been to that convention in 6 years, but even so, there's like 3 or 4 years of just built up Balan Wonderworlds for him to sign. I'll give him credit though. He did sign all of them, just outright. And I saw some where I was like, wow, I signed that one like 3 years ago, and it's continued to come to too many games over and over and over again. So people had been waiting a while, but hey, they finally got that signature for Balan Wonderworld. Overall, though, it was a really fun weekend, and I am definitely looking forward to Too Many Games 2025. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for Newswave. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit that like button. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about here today. Where's Nintendo's crusade now against the MiG Switch? Do you think they're going to have that completely wiped off the face of the internet? And then also, what about Xbox Live being down? Hopefully it's back up by the time you're seeing this video, but are you someone who logged into your account or attempted to log into your Xbox account and realized, oh, I actually can't play any of my games? What does that mean for the digital future? Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.